Wow. George Springer to the Blue Jays. I honestly cannot believe it. It was rumored for about a couple hours and then confirmed. $150 million for 6 years, so 25 per. It says from Jeff Passan, Springer is headed to Dunedin for a physical, and if all goes according to plan, Toronto will get its start. It's been looking for all winter. And, I mean, you talk about, like, Francisco Lindor. You know what? Blue Jays fans were all pissed, and George Springer. We signed George Springer, so we don't even have to give anything up. That was kind of the worry when, like, all the Lindor rumors were happening was, like, okay, we have to give up Gurriel Jr. But then, now you're talking about, okay, we literally got a stacked top five in the batting order. Biggio, Springer, Bichette, Vlad Jr., and Teoscar. And you throw Gurriel Jr. in there if he has like a bounce back, if he has a huge year. Bro! Biggio, Springer, Bichette, Vlad Jr., Teoscar. If Teoscar can repeat what he did, and then Gurriel Jr., Grichuk, and then whoever, I think Tellez, if like Tellez can show that he's consistent with the bat, and then Captain Kirk or Jansen. Jansen actually played well towards the end of the year, but I love Captain Kirk. Bro, the Jays literally just need to solidify their starting rotation and obviously like improve their bullpen. But right now, their starting lineup in defense, like now their outfield is much less a conversation, much less a worry, and obviously in the infield, there was too many errors last year from guys like Vlad, from Bichette, but obviously more experience. Hopefully that comes together. I obviously just want to look at George Springer's stats last year because, like, Springer in a shortened season, like to say the lead, like he went off. He kind of went off. Obviously, I think a lot of guys didn't put up crazy numbers, but he went off. I would say for the most part, he put up a 265 batting average. So I think he got a little worse towards the end. He put up 14 home runs, 37 runs, 32 RBIs. So for a team that was like in and out, and I think with the Blue Jays, you obviously made the playoffs and you got kind of smacked around by the team that made the World Series. The Rays made the World Series. So I think coming into this year, the Blue Jays got better. I obviously want to see, I would say, one more addition to their starting rotation, and then obviously to bulk up the bullpen. Outside of that, I'm looking at their batting order, I'm looking at their defense right now, and I'm okay with everything I see. So just the pitching at this point, just the pitching. Man, I'm happy, man. I am excited. So, I am live right now. Rio is the only good pitcher. Well, I mean, Rio even struggled against the Rays, obviously, in his game. But I think the fact that the Rays made it so far, and obviously they lost to the Dodgers, but man, the Blue Jays, or the Raptors won, and now I'm waiting for the Blue Jays or Leafs to win. So that's kind of what I've been saying to people. Like, I got to see a Raptors championship, and now it's like I want to see it from the Leafs and Blue Jays in my lifetime for sure. So, yeah, I know. People are saying, I know. I took the jerseys down, relax. But man, I'm hyped. George Springer. I know a lot of people are going to give like the skepticism and like people like, oh, he's coming from Houston, like Cheater Nation. I get it. But either way, man, I am hyped. So having a beer skis in the mug. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And I'm hyped. I am hyped. Bro, Jack Ryan, relax. Relax. W's in the chat. George Springer to the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm excited, man. And I'm just thinking, like, Buddy's huge. And I think it's going to be interesting who they put in center field. Because obviously with Grichuk, he got time center field. I think he gets a lot of time in the right field. So I'm thinking they could put Springer or Grichuk in center field. And then obviously Teoscar or Gurriel as your extra guy, right? So they got their options. And then obviously the infield. I think they're pretty confident going forward for the infield. I'm pretty confident, but yeah, I mean, Chris Redman, I know the Mets maybe Jackie Bradley Jr. I mean, hey, I'd be down if the Jays were just like, hey, let's just stack up our outfield and go get Jackie Bradley Jr. as well. Trade Grichuk, in a package for like a pitcher or something, because Grichuk, for me, my low-key opinion is like Grichuk's value is like higher than it will be, because like Grichuk's contract's a little risky. Man, I just think like I'd be down for both. And then Springer can play at the right field. But no, I mean, obviously, just straight up, the fact that the Blue Jays got George Springer, it doesn't even feel real. Like it's tough to see sometimes like just straight out stars come to Canada and come to Toronto. And I know, like, yeah, Darkness, that could be a good idea. Grichuk back to St. Louis. But, like, straight up, I think it's tough to see sometimes, like, the negative kind of mindset or the negative kind of idea of coming to Toronto, leaving the States, and coming to Canada. Whether it was, like, Lou Williams or, like, a bunch of people that have said it in the past in the NBA or MLB, or obviously there's no Canadian team in the NFL, but this is, like, huge. Obviously, with the Raptors, you acquire Kawhi, and, like, with the Leafs, like, obviously getting John Tavares was, like, huge, but he's a Canadian boy. So, like, this one for me, like, speaks volumes, because, like, Ryu was sick, but, like, he wasn't with, he wasn't, like, with, like, a winning team. The Dodgers were struggling, right? Springer won with Houston, but I guess I should say, like, oh, the cheating thing, so he wanted a fresh start, right? But Ryu came to Toronto, success, and now Springer comes to Toronto, and we'll see if he can find that success with Toronto. Obviously, Ryu, we talked about it. He was great. He was right up there for the Cy Young. But obviously, the huge thing was, like, the playoffs. He played against the Rays and shit the bed. So that was the big thing, Ryu. So hopefully Ryu can come into the season and play well. Yeah, I don't know. Luke Thomas, I'd be down for Vladdy to go back to third base, but obviously there's a huge question mark about positioning and where Biggio's going to play. Obviously, I mean, our shortstop's Bichette. There's no debating that. But is Biggio at second base? I think the big thing for me is, like, if Vlad can solidify himself at first base, that means Gurriel can play second base and Biggio at third base. And that's a pretty solid infield. But the big thing is, as I said, Vlad at first base. He made major mistakes, major errors at first base last year. And that's why I'm just questioning it, right? Because on paper, if Vladdy can be that Prince fielder, you got Bichette at the shortstop, and then you got Gurriel, who's so solid at second base. Obviously, he can play outfield, but for me, Gurriel, like, the way he's played at second base, he's at his best defensively. And then at the third base, Biggio, decent enough. Obviously, I think Vladdy, if he can keep getting more fit, and we've seen his kind of workout videos, if Vladdy is fit enough to be a very good MLB third baseman, I'm down for Vladdy to be there, and we have Tellez at first base. And Tellez and Gurriel and Teoscar can alternate through DH. Because if you think about it, Gurriel and Teoscar can both be in the outfield. You already got Grichuk and Springer out there. And obviously Tellez can come in and out either first base or DH. So I think the versatility of Vladdy being able to play possibly first base and third base, it's there. But I think Vladdy's more comfortable at third base. So it just comes down to if he doesn't make mistakes at first base, then I'm okay with it. But if he's working out and he's getting in shape for third base, then I'm down to see it. Austin Martin. I'd be down, man, for Austin Martin to make the team. That's another big question mark, because Austin Martin can play he can play center field. So if Austin Martin can make the team and you have Austin Martin at center field, and then you have Springer and Grichuk on the outsides, and then you have Teoscar as your DH, and he can obviously fill in at the outfield, that'd be really good. Because then Tellez can just come in and out, right? Do you guys think Martin will play it? I just don't know. I mean, Martin's so good, and it looks like he's pretty mature, but I don't know. It didn't seem like they talked about him much during the season. I get it's with COVID and stuff, but I'm just thinking, like, give the guy a chance. So, yeah, if Austin Martin can, like, break out and show, like, how good he is, Austin Martin, yeah, he can also play third base. And Jordan Groshans, man, I mean, I know there was big talk, like, possibly Groshans and Gurriel would have been part of the trade to get Lindor. But now we get a star for, like, and we don't have to give up anything. We get George Springer. We don't have to give up anything in a move, obviously. We sign him outright. And yeah, you're right. Groshans could be at third base. If we got Trevor Bauer after getting George Springer, I don't even know what I would do. I think I would, like, bro, HCH is throwing a one-man party at the apartment. I don't even know, bro. If we can get Bauer. Oh, Bauer said on his YouTube he's not going to Toronto. Well, I'm not surprised. But Maybe we can get Jackie Bradley Jr. I don't know, but I do think this is the only Blue Jays big move they're going to make. If they got another big move like Bauer or Jackie Bradley, like you said, if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But, yeah, I mean, you never know. I'm down, and I love this move. And, yeah, guys, truly. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, like, and comment, do all that good stuff. Have the notifications on. I'll be live on the Hot Take Hockey channel tomorrow night. And more videos to come on this channel, hopefully. And check out the apartment tour if you would like. All right, guys. Big news, George Springer. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All right. Have a good one. Peace out.